Welcome back to your favorite morning show, the AM Club, right here on MX24 TV. We are home to fan fearless and factual programming. We always tell you this. I'm excited to tell you about this new thing happening. Now, guys, listen. SunCalp Forum, if you've not heard about it, was initiated in 2009 by Intellicap to create a thriving ecosystem for business-led inclusive development. They've been around for over 15 years in India and Kenya, and for the first time, they are coming to Ghana. Listen, I'll save it for the experts to tell you all that is happening during this summit. Now, joining me this morning, Ariel Molino. She is the Associate Vice President of SunCalp Forum Lead, Intellicap Advisory Services Private Limited. Ariel, welcome.
Thank you.
And then, of course, the person from my hometown, Enam Becker. She is SunCalp's West Africa lead, also Intellicap Advisory Services Private Limited. Ladies, good morning.
Good morning.
We are well?
Thank you. Very well.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So before the camera started rolling, I was inquiring from you about SunCalp, and it's amazing to know that anything that thrives for more than 5 years, I believe, is a success. You know, so to think that you've had this for over 15 years, had it in India, in Kenya, 10 years in Kenya, and you're bringing it to Ghana. This is super exciting. Now tell me more about SunCalp. Who do I go with? Ariel? And I'm Ariel. Ariel, tell me more about SunCalp.
I can go first, yeah. So like you said, we believe in entrepreneurs. We believe in entrepreneurs being the driver for development. So when we're looking at, more opportunities for South-South collaboration coming from India to Kenya. We've done also some work in Southeast Asia as well, and we're really excited to come to Ghana to help entrepreneurs do what they do best, and that's build businesses, raise money, and create positive impact.
And that's what you've been doing in India and Kenya, and you're bringing the same thing here to Ghana. It's your theme that I'm super excited about as well. It says that catalyzing collaborations for entrepreneur-led development in West Africa. Why this theme?
Yes. So, like I said, we believe in entrepreneurs. We believe that entrepreneurs will be that driving force for development. And when you look at the Sustainable Development Goals, Africa alone as a continent needs about $200 billion per year annually to get there. Impact investors and investors on the continent only hold a small percentage of that. And when we're looking at catalyzing collaboration and where we're looking at unleashing the power of partnerships, it's actually, I think, a very humbling recognition that none of us can achieve these very ambitious development goals alone, right? And that's really where we're coming with the theme that we can't do it by ourselves. Impact investors can't do it by themselves. Entrepreneurs can't do it by themselves. But if we do open these opportunities for collaboration, if we start breaking down these silos, if we're able to open these better corridors of collaboration and exchange, then we can be more efficient. We can reach that inflection point for change far faster. And really focusing on that, catalytic and exponential change that we need rather than this incremental change that we've been seeing and honestly have been set back a bit since COVID, I think.
Indeed. So why Ghana? I'd like to know. From Kenya, we come straight to Ghana. I'll still stay with you. Why have you chosen Ghana?
It's been in the mix for a long time, to be honest. Then COVID happened. We sort of had to pause. But Ghana really seems to be the epicenter for entrepreneurship. And because we're not just looking at Ghana, because we're looking at the West African region, right. Ghana was really the most strategic place for us in terms of connectivity, in terms of ease of doing business, in terms of language. It seems, especially in terms of attractiveness for Francophone countries, we wanted to make sure that they're able to come and that we're not solely focusing on Anglophone West Africa. And Ghana really seemed to be the perfect meeting point for the region, just in terms of a number of those things.
Interesting. And you are the West Africa lead. So I'd like to inquire from you, like she said, your theme this year is to catalyze collaborations. And I want to find out from you how important collaborations are when it comes to entrepreneurship. I've had a few people complain severally among the creatives, among some businesses, say that one of the biggest problems in Ghana especially is how entrepreneurs, businessmen, creatives don't like to collaborate. Everybody wants to do things on their own. So tell me, please, how important are these collaborations for the success of entrepreneurs?
Very, very important. I mean, there's a saying that if you want to go quickly, you go alone. If you want to go far, you go with
together.
others. And you'd realize as well that when you look within the ecosystem, there are many small startups doing pretty much the same thing. And sometimes the ticket sizes of the kind of funding they may access, they may not meet all the requirements, surely because of their size. So if you collaborate with, like-minded businesses addressing the same kind of target markets or clients, you could access, you have better chances of accessing some of the funding out there. So that's one reason why I would say collaboration is very, very important. And then it gives you the opportunity to learn from each other. Through partnerships, you'd learn and avoid making certain mistakes that others who may have done things before you and would save you a lot of money and time. You do not necessarily have to repeat and design the whole wheel if somebody has done it already. So yes, these are some of the reasons why collaboration is important. And there's strength in the numbers.
Ariel, how long, if you don't mind, how long have you been in Ghana? Have you tasted shito yet?
Yes.
You've had shito?
Yes.
And
Yes.
I'm sure everybody in the studio can attest to the fact that we all have about, at least, we can mention 3 friends of ours who make shito, isn't it? You know at least 3 people who make shito.
Yeah.
And it's funny how everybody, so in this case, you're saying that it's good for these people to come together rather than make shito and sell it on a smaller scale to a few friends. If they came together and collaborated, perhaps they may access more funds that are out there and export to other places in the world. Very interesting. But why do you think it's been challenging for many Ghanaian entrepreneurs or West African entrepreneurs to collaborate? Because if you look at the Lebanese, you look at the Italians, you look at the Arabs, they collaborate a lot.
I think sometimes it's just if you don't speak to each other, you don't realize that, there is that opportunity to benefit from the synergies that exist. And collaboration does not necessarily mean you lose the value of your product or your business. It could be collaborating to, along the supply chain, make benefits through, you'd acquire together. You can each go and do your separate shito business, but you use the same supply chain. You benefit from the economies of scale that you get from taking advantage of your size. If you were 4 or 5, sourcing from the same supplier as opposed to going individually. So these are some of the things. It's just people do not sometimes think a bit more broadly, or they do not understand the benefits that the collaborations can bring.
Indeed. And one of your goals also at SunCalp is to bridge the gap between the Francophone and Anglophone countries, I believe. It's very interesting. The last French I learned was when I was in class 6 or something, So I'm wondering how you intend to achieve this bridge.
Okay. So first of all, for our sessions, the sessions that require translation, we are going to have translation services. So we are being very inclusive to make sure that nobody feels left out. Everybody can understand what is being discussed and participate effectively. Also, we are running country spotlights. So we are doing country spotlights on Senegal, Cote d'Ivoire, Togo, and Sierra Leone. And so these country spotlights will highlight the opportunities that exist in these countries. And I think it would also draw in more attention, more opportunities for collaboration between the various businesses, investors, and players in the ecosystem across all countries in West Africa.
Okay. So we've seen summits in the last few years. What makes SunCalp different? Also, I know that you've had in the past over 800 plus global and regional speakers, speaking in these different places. Is it the same thing that's going to happen here in Ghana?
Yeah, so I can take that one. Yeah.
Yes.
So I would say SunCalp is so much more than a summit. It's really a community. It's really family. It's really connecting the global South. While this is one piece of of that larger community that we're bringing to West Africa. So over about a day and a half, we'll have at least around 20 sessions that are across sectors. So from regenerative agriculture to healthcare to circular economies to impact investing. There'll be entrepreneur showcases. There will be deal rooms, and the group of stakeholders that are there, a lot of them are entrepreneurs themselves, a lot of them are impact investors, accelerators, ecosystem, support providers, DFIs, bilateral institutions. So it's really this lovely mixing pot of everyone that you very rarely get. Because I think when we're talking about collaborations, you don't know what you don't know, and you don't know who you don't know, right? And there are so many opportunities to learn and exchange. So in addition to sort of the sessions that we have a really big emphasis on networking. So making sure that it's super easy to find the investors that are looking in your sector and your ticket size, and vice versa for investors who are there to identify and meet entrepreneurs, to really help people align based on interests, based on geographic focus, et cetera. So we have a huge sort of dedicated space for networking, and then we have some just fun stuff, right? We have participant-led discussion zones, so people who are attending can talk about what's most important to them. We have an electric vehicle test track, so you can come and drive some three-wheelers and some two-wheelers around the test track. We have a sustainable fashion show that we're doing. So there are so many different sectors and really fun activities that will be coming together at the
How are you doing all this in 2 days? Is it 2 days?
Come and find out.
Come and find out. It's a lot. So it's jam-packed. It's jam-packed, and it's just such high energy levels. People are really invested to make the most of it.
Sounds exciting already. 13th and 14th of June?
12th and
12th and 13th of June. That will be
Monday, Tuesday.
Right, next week, Monday and Tuesday. Okay. Is it open to the public? Anybody at all can attend?
Anybody at all can attend. It is a ticket-based event, and if like Ariel said, we have the fashion show as well. So if you can't attend the main sessions, you are welcome to attend the fashion show, which would be happening later in the evening. Or
test driving the cars.
Yes, certainly.
Okay. So, and how do you register? How do I become a part of it if I want to participate?
So you can go to sankalpforum.com. You'll find a link there to register, and registrations will be open over the weekend. Or you can come on site and we'll get you sorted.
Okay. Any more information perhaps for the Gen Zs on your social media? Do you have social media?
Yes. At Sankop Forum. On Twitter is probably the easiest way, but we're on Facebook. Just Google us. You'll find all of our Twitter handles.
Wonderful. Any final words, Anam, you want to leave us with, and why we should be there on the 12th and 13th next week?
I think there is no better time to really bring everyone together and collaborate. We've seen there is a thriving startup community in the region, and now is the time for us to really scale up operations. Without achieving the scale, they will remain small, and collaboration is a way to really achieve that scale and achieve that impact across the region.
Absolutely. Ariel, you?
Just really excited to finally have Sankop coming to the region. You said we've been in India for 15 years. When I started with Sankop 10 years ago in Nairobi, it was very similar. We had about 300 people coming in Nairobi, and fast forward 10 years, in March we had 1,300 people, many of whom were coming from not only across the continent but across the world, to see what entrepreneurs are doing and to really invest and support in them. And I'm really excited to see West Africa and Ghana be on that trajectory of growth. And in a couple of years, I'm sure this will be the epicenter for entrepreneurship.
Absolutely. I look forward to it. And to add to it, perhaps it's also very important to be part of this because of the advent of AFTA, the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. So we know that Africa is open to entrepreneurs now, and these are the summits, or this summit is where we have to come and learn how to interact with everybody else in the other countries. Thank you very much. And I'm Beko, West Africa lead for Sankop, and then Ariel Molino.
Thank you so
She is the Associate Vice President of Sankop. You're watching the AM Club on MX24 TV. Stay.